Hey guys, Jonathan here, and today we're checking out one of the rarest LEGO Batman sets of all time, the 2007 Bat Tank, the Riddler and Bane's Hideout. This set came out in 2007 and was allegedly only on shelves from October till November of that year, meaning it was only produced for maybe a month at best, which is why it is so incredibly rare today. Now, back in the day, it retailed for $49.99. Adjusted for inflation, that would be $78 today. But because of how limited the production of this set was, it's made for Batman and Bane to be two of the most sought-after LEGO DC minifigs of all time. In fact, on today's market, this Batman alone goes for over $120, and Bane can be almost $400 on his own today. Now, I had to piece this set out because there are so few copies of it available on the secondary market, so I ordered every piece individually through Bricklink, and I got it as close as I possibly could, including using a brand new sticker sheet, which was pretty hard to find too. Now, that being said, it cost me maybe $200 to part this together. Thankfully, I already had the figures. I'd gotten them years ago, so that helped quite a bit. But if you were going to buy this set used on something like eBay or Bricklink where it's already assembled, be ready to shell out about $900 for this set. And if you want one new, you're pushing more like $1,000. I'm really not sure why this set is as expensive as it is. I mean, it's a really cool set. We're going to break it down, but I don't think it's like $900 cool. Granted, those two exclusive minifigs right there can push $400, $500, $600 just for the two of those. So, I mean, I do kind of get it logically. But anyways, let's start breaking down this historic and rare LEGO Batman set. So we'll start things off by taking a look at Batman. Now, this figure only came in two sets, of course, the set we're looking at today, as well as the Scarecrow set that came out in 2007 as well, and also had a notoriously short shelf life, just like this set today. So because of that, only coming in two sets that barely had any production time or distribution, this minifigure is super rare and super valuable, as mentioned, selling routinely for over $120 as of this video. Now, underneath, we have the same Batman 1 style head that all the Batman minifigs had. Of course, he has a dark blue cape and an exclusive torso, which, of course, uses that awesome, inspired by the Dark Knight Returns torso design. I love the belt on this, how it has some, like, shimmery gold reflectiveness to it. It looks awesome. And that giant bat logo looks great as well. There was no printing on the back. And no printing on the back of the head either. Of course, that white headband around the forehead matches with that Type 1 cowl, which means it's the first Batman cowl we got in all the original Batman 1 sets, and actually even some of the 2012 sets very briefly. But still, it's an amazing minifigure all these years later, and really, really awesome to have here today. The Riddler in this set was not technically exclusive because he did come in other sets like the Arkham Asylum set, and of course, if you really wanted to break the purist method, so to speak, there was a magnet version where he had magnets in the back of his feet. So all that to say, there is more than one way to get this version of the Riddler for your LEGO collection, but one thing about this set that made him exclusive is this brick-built jetpack which goes on his back. It's a very simple design as you can see, and interestingly enough, his neck bracket should actually be like dark bluish gray, but I don't have that piece, so I use the piece that I have because that dark gray piece actually was exclusive to this set. So it should be like this color or the color of his hands, not that light bluish gray, but still really, really cool, and it gets the point across enough. I didn't realize until after I ordered all the pieces that that neck bracket piece was exclusive too, so I guess I'll have to track one of those down someday. Ah yes, the most exclusive figure in this set is Bane. I love this minifigure. It was so cool because, as you saw with the previous two minifigures, not a lot of figures back in the day had back of head or even back of torso printing, yet this Bane had both. If we look at it, it's super detailed too with his, Venom contraction on the back there. It just looks absolutely awesome. And if we take a closer look, there's a lot of detail there too. So not only is this figure ahead of its time in the sense that it has printing, but the printing that we did get is so detailed, like the veins on his chest from his muscles, and overall, it's just a phenomenal standout minifigure. I can certainly understand why it sells for as much money as it does, given its rarity and, the fact that it wasn't in very many sets. Well, it was only in this set for that matter, but still pushing $400 in value is crazy, but I'm very glad I got this figure a long time ago because those prices are nuts. Now, as we mentioned, the Riddler has this great jetpack build. Well, I shouldn't say great, but it was cool for its time. But Bane needed some way to get around, and so he got this awesome brick-built motorcycle. Now, once again, I believe on the original set, the wheels were like a dark gray, but that's something I want to talk about as we get into this set. The Bricklink piece listing for this is absolutely wrong, because I placed an order for just part out this set, and it didn't even come with these wheels. I checked all my orders, and I even checked the listing, and as of the time that I ordered all the pieces, those were missing. In fact, there were several missing pieces throughout this set as I, built it, so if you were to piece out this set, definitely quadruple check and make sure that you got all the pieces, because I had to place like 6 Bricklink orders just to get close, because the pieces listed on there are not accurate at all as of right now. But that being said, we do have a little sticker here with like a control mechanism, and you could actually position this cannon up and down. The build here is very odd, like the way that we just have Technic pieces hanging out. I feel like in modern day Lego that would never happen quite the way it is here. I mean, functionally, it's fine, and all 3 wheels work and everything. I just feel like this is definitely an antiquated build style and not up to current Lego standards. But we do have some flick fire missiles here that, of course, you can push those out and put them right back in. We don't really see a lot of flick fire missiles quite that way from Lego today, but back in this era, and especially into the early 2010s, they were everywhere. So overall, it's a nice little build. It's nothing too crazy, but definitely a solid little side build here. And on the topic of side builds, we have some accessories. Of course, 2 $100 bills. Then we have this little detonator and dynamite build. Nothing too crazy, something everybody could probably build from spare parts. And we have this canister here, and you'll notice, well, maybe I shouldn't have pushed it down just now, but the danger sticker is already peeling, and I just put this on like maybe 3 or 4 days ago, and it's already peeling off. So I think it just has to do with the age of the sticker, the quality, and all of that, but this is just made using 4 pieces. Interestingly enough, the sticker sheet does come with 2. It's not clear if you're supposed to put the other danger sticker on the backside, but I do kind of like having a backup one in my archive just in case this one ever completely peels off and I need to replace it down the line. Now, as we get into the build itself, it's not too much to be impressed about. It's basically a perfectly symmetrical gate here, and as you can see, we'll start with this side. There's a large pole right here that kind of makes up a lot of the spine construction, if you will, and we have this spotlight that can turn 360 and move up and down. Then on the opposite side, we actually have a little sticker here with a Bane wanted poster on it, which is cool. And we could position this repeater gun down, but not really up. It just kind of points down, but it does move 360. And I think the Riddler is supposed to be able to like fly up and control this or whatever, but it's surprisingly violent for a Lego Batman set, I feel. That being said, we also get these 2 big gates with stickers on them, one that says stay out and the other that says no bats, little on the nose there. And of course, the idea is that the bat tank, which we'll look at next, is supposed to be able to ram through this, but it doesn't really work. Like, you know what I mean? It makes the whole thing fall down, whereas I think the intended play function is supposed to be that you, like, break this chain off and the gates open or whatever, but really, if you just push the bat tank through those gates, it's just going to knock the entire thing over. I mean, hey, maybe that's the power of the bat tank, but I feel like in today's Lego world, they would probably do something where they would build, like, an entire piece across to make this one sturdy, construction so you could hold it and then have the tank crash through. Just a very slight change that I think would make the intended play feature a little bit better, but, hey, we're looking at this through the lens of total nostalgia and almost 20 years of Lego development, so it's just fun to look at it for what it is in its time and appreciate it for that. And now that brings us to the bat tank, which once again, if you do try to piece this out through Bricklink, it is absolutely missing pieces in the piece count. Like, as you can see, this piece here kind of like droops down because there's a large Technic piece that goes through here that by my count is supposed to have like 15 holes, and the one that is in the Bricklink count only has 13 holes, so you can't actually extend it all the way out to connect to this, so it kind of droops down. There could be a way for me to use like Technic parts in my collection to kind of like close this up, but I did want to give the most accurate representation of what most builders would experience today. But as you can see, we get those blue stud facing outward so that you can can, of course, just plug this into place. And by the time you plug that into place, all the functionality works perfectly. So it's just something that kind of bothers me that I know the inside is wrong. I may go back and order the parts for it to fix it properly someday, but hey, it is what it is. Now, as far as play functions go, of course, we can open up this section here to go ahead and put Batman inside. We just kind of have to lean him back and he just kind of lays in there. Then the piece goes back on. And I really like how clear you can see Batman through that opaque piece. There is a bat sticker there. And then on the back, we have flick fire missiles. Wow, that was really, wow, that was awesome. Look at that. Wow, I love that. But of course, these flick fire missiles can be moved and aimed. Then we can actually lift back this entire piece to have a spring-loaded missile. Basically, you just put your finger back here and push it down, and it will shoot that large missile out. And then, of course, it can reload very easily, a little something like that. Oh, no, pieces are going everywhere. Ah! Okay, there we go. Now, on the side, we could position these bat wings out a little bit if we want. And those are really the main play features, of course, aside from the fact that we can roll the tank and have those treads go. There are so many treads in this set, and it is definitely a little annoying to put them all together, but once it's done, it does look really great, and I love how, like, both treads move in tandem. It looks really cool, and it is very, very satisfying to play with. So I love this, and if I had gotten this set when I was a kid, which I sure wish I did, because it cost me like, about $1,001 to get today. Okay, not quite that much, but it felt like that piecing it all together. But if I had gotten this when I was a kid, I would have absolutely loved playing it. And heck, all these years later, almost 20 years after its release, I still love playing with this set. So, all right, guys, let me know what you think of this set, and if you had this one back in the day. Be sure to hit like and subscribe down below, and let me know your thoughts on this iconic set.